Sophia, we watched Jujutsu Kaisen episodes 1 through 4. Is that right?
Yeah.
So before we get into the details, just tell me, what are your first impressions?
I think that it looks really fun, and I'm excited to see the entire thing.
Me too. I've had a blast with. I was really hooked on the first episode, actually. I had seen where some people said it gets off to a slow start. I don't think it gets off to a slow start. I was liking it pretty quick.
Yeah.
I gotta say, it was different than I thought it was going to be, though.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I wasn't sure what was going to happen, and then, the action started, I'm like, whoa!
I really thought it was going to be about that occult research club. I didn't know it was going to go a whole different direction. And this is a world where curses are the villains. Now, do you think we're going to mess up and refer to the curses as demons? Because if we do that, that'll be incorrect.
I feel like every now and again we might... No, there's not. It's all curses, right?
Yeah, they're curses. I know that the name of the knife that he gets is Demon Slaughter, but that's just the knife's name.
Yeah, a little confusing on the wording, but power through.
Yeah, and they talk about where the curses come from. The curses are creations of people.
Yeah, it's a creation of the mind, yeah.
Which I think is really cool. People are sort of dealing with their own monsters that they created.
I know, it's really cool. It kind of puts a face to the hardships and how people think, It's really interesting.
And our heroes in this show are Jujutsu sorcerers. So that means they use sorcery.
Yes.
Is that close enough to magic that if I call it magic, people won't get mad?
No, I don't know. Because it's kind of like magic. I'm not sure.
I don't know if you've seen The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but he says all a wizard is a sorcerer with a hat or something like that. And it's a school. It's Jujutsu Tech that they're going through. So it has progress from first year to fourth year. And I kind of like that. You get levels, you get steps. I like the way that's laid out. How about you?
Yeah, it's nice. You can watch them progress in power.
So, should I try some of the names? Should I go ahead and get this out of the way? I get mixed reviews on how I say the names. I mean, people all agree that I say them wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But some people like it when I say them wrong, like they get a chuckle. So, should I go ahead and try some of the names?
Give it your best shot.
Okay, and you'll tell me what you think. Will you give me a score from 0 year to 4th year or something?
Okay.
Itadori.
A 3. I think it's Itadori.
Itadori. Gojo. That's easy.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, that one's pretty easy. Fujigoro.
Sounds close. I think it's Fushiguro.
Yeah, I said it with a J, but it's spelled with an SH. I'm looking at it. People can't see, but we've got this little monitor thing that I'm looking at. So Fushiguro. I was close. I think I got out of a possible 12 stars, I probably got 10.
Yeah. I mean, these names are a lot easier than the Demon Slayer names.
Well, I'm not trying full names. They do get a little tougher sometimes with the full names. Just give me a chance. I'll be saying Itadordodo or something. Don't worry. Now, did you have thoughts on the opening music, the intro music?
Oh, it's really good. I love the intro. Yeah, I normally don't watch the intros. I just like getting straight to the animes. But this one, I'd sit through.
And it starts off with a cold open, and there's a guy strapped to a chair, and we don't have any idea what's going on, but it really sets the tone for this show, because this show's got a little bit of a high consequences tone to it, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, there's fun thrown in, but it's much less whimsical than some other shows are. Were you lost at all with this cold open with the guy in the chair? I kind of wondered if I'd missed something or if I needed to know something first.
A little bit, but I've seen this type of setup happen a couple times where it brings you to a backstory and then you jump back in. But at first I was like, wait, what?
And then he goes to see his grandfather at the hospital, and that's cool because his grandfather's mean to him, but you can tell he loves him, and he said that this is the guy that raised him like a father. And it lays down something that I think is going to be important. I mean, it's definitely important in these first 4 episodes, but part of what his grandfather's goal is number 1, to help guide people to a satisfying death. Is that what he calls it?
Is it satisfying? I think it's a proper death.
Something like that. And then he also says, use your strength to save people. And even if you can only just save one person, go ahead and give it a shot.
Yeah.
So kind of lays out a whole lot, by the, first 10 minutes probably, this first episode, I feel like I know Itadori, though I don't know where this is going. It really threw me for a loop with what I'll call kind of a twist or surprise at the end. Now, when he goes to his occult research club at school, that's what I thought the show was going to be about. Was these 3 guys like Scooby-Doo going around and running into ghosts or something.
That's really what they made it seem like.
And I was kind of excited for that show. I thought that would be a pretty good show, but then it turns into something that's a little more my speed, kind of an urban fantasy feel to it. But I really started having fun with it when the track coach comes in and he tells Yuji Itadori if he can beat the track coach, then he doesn't have to be in the track club. He can stick with the occult club.
Yes.
So what happens when the coach... Now, I know you have participated in track and field, so maybe break it down for us what happens with the track coach.
All right, so they are throwing shot put, all right? And the coach, he throws it, and he gets it pretty far.
Like 15 meters or something?
Yeah, that's like 30 feet.
No, it's like 45 feet.
45 feet?
Yeah.
Oh, well, either way, he gets it pretty far. I think the furthest I've thrown it was like 21 feet. But then Itadori, he goes up there,
throws it like a baseball,
which is so bad that can break your arm. And he throws it so far,
like 26 meters or something.
I know.
They said that he broke the world record and he threw it like a baseball.
I know, and I was like, what in the world? You're going to break your elbow. And he just tosses it like nothing.
And then also they talk about how fast he can run. So they're just letting us know here right off the bat that not only is Yuji Itadori special, but he's also maybe like Captain America level special.
I know. He's got a superhuman strength in this tiny little body.
And speed and everything. He's just like the all-around cool guy, but instead of wanting to be a star athlete, he prefers to hang out with his friends and hunt for ghosts and curses and stuff. And then this guy kind of looming in the background, I didn't know what to make of him or who he was, but it's Fushiguro, and he shows up to explain the school's cursed artifact. And apparently all the schools have a certain artifact that's like a curse that's powerful enough to eat other curses, but they surround it with a talisman or something so it doesn't actually hurt anybody and it protects the school from curses. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, but I mean, if I found out that the high school just has a severed finger laying on the grounds to protect us, I'd be like freaked.
You know, if we get our hands on a finger, we could probably put it in a box at your school.
No, thank you.
And then the friends from the occult club, like they had actually stolen the curse from the box that was protecting the school. And his friends unwrap it and unleash curses on them. So basically, they're going to die, but Fushiguro and Itadori have to show up and save them. And then there are some dogs. I think I saw them called Divine Dogs, Demon Dogs, and Shikigami.
Yes.
I saw them because I watched some of it as subs and I watched some of it as dub, listen to the dub. But yeah, he has these two dogs that are kind of a cool little like spirit animal to have there to help fight the curses. At the end of the day, it's Yuji smashes through the window, punches the curse, and then he eats the finger. And that was when the first episode took a twist that I didn't see coming, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
So what happens to him when he eats the finger?
Well, he eats the finger, and then he goes through this like really cool transforming evolution-y type thing. And then he gets taken over like by this curse thing and just absolutely obliterates the one that he's fighting.
Yes. I guess it's like the granddaddy of the curses, Sukuna, I think is what he's called.
Yeah.
And he has 4 arms, so he has 20 fingers, and he's just eaten 1 finger and gotten all this demon power, but somehow he's also able to contain it.
Yeah, he doesn't know why. The thing that he ate doesn't know why. Everybody's just kind of like, what?
But to me, that was a little bit of a jaw-dropper ending. Like, I thought I knew how this was going. He's going to hunt curses. I had no idea he was essentially going to be possessed by a curse, but, like, have some control over it, so it just upped his power a little bit. I loved it. At the end of that first episode, when that happened, I knew this was a show I was going to be happy to be watching.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't like it, I mean, yeah, we would kind of watch it and talk about it, but we might not do the whole season. But I'm definitely on board till the end now. Mm-hmm. And as a result of being fused with the curse, like he eats the finger, so he's kind of becomes the curse. So that's an automatic death sentence from the Jujutsu tech sorcerers or whatever.
Yeah.
However, they suspend the sentence because he's a vessel. And the reason they don't want to execute him is because they want him to go eat 19 more dead fingers. What do you think of that?
I don't think I could even eat 1 dead finger.
Did you know that Nerd Spawn Genesis book I wrote like maybe 4 years ago?
I know what it is. I helped you.
There's a character that's based on me in that book who eats a dead finger that he gets from like a cursed Chuck E. Cheese, like FNAF style, and gets an extra power. So I didn't know that, but that's kind of cool that this overlaps with that story I wrote.
I don't understand how one could just go about eating a dead finger.
Well, it saved his life and saved his friend's life, and it'll probably save a lot of people's lives by the end of the show.
He was in the moment and all, and like adrenaline, but like,
if I got like a mummy finger from eBay, you wouldn't eat it.
No.
And then we meet Gojo. And Gojo is this very confident, cocky, upper-level student with white hair and a blindfold. Do you have any theories about what's up with that blindfold?
Maybe he's kind of like Cyclops. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good theory. Like if you see his eyes, it maybe hypnotizes you or something. I was thinking kind of like Spider-Man in the Homecoming movie, how he likes to wear tinted glasses to kind of cut down on his high senses because he senses everything and it's like overwhelming. I was wondering if there's something like this with Gojo, or it might just be a character design thing, or just to show how powerful he is that he can tell well enough to get around with the blindfold on. But I hope we find out the story with that blindfold.
Maybe he's so powerful that he has to give himself a handicap so other people have a chance.
That he has that kind of personality. I wouldn't be surprised if that's why he wears the blindfold. And, you know, people that might already know, please don't spoil this in the comments. I want to find out on my own. Gojo fights with Yuji, but it's Yuji with using the power of the curse, and he still shows he's pretty awesome, and he's also definitely not humble about it. Like, he shows off just how powerful Gojo is. So that's to impress us that, like, this fourth year is the teacher, Yuji and company are going to be the students, right?
Yeah.
And then, like I said, Yuji has to eat 20 fingers. That sounds like a lot of fingers to eat, even if you take away the gross factor. Like, you could do one on a dare, maybe two, to prove the first one wasn't a fluke. Nobody wants to eat 20 fingers.
Did you see that nail, though? Like,
that would cut all the way down. At least, at first, he thought he was going to have to eat toes. When he heard there were 20, he thought it was 10 fingers and 10 toes. But thank goodness he didn't have to do that.
If they showed him eating toes, like, I don't know, man.
And they take Itadori to Tokyo, I believe, where the actual Jujutsu Tech school is that he's going to go to, the technical school. And he has to sort of earn his admission by fighting a stuffed animal.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. I mean, that principle's no nonsense, right? That's a tough audition for school.
Well, not only did he have to fight the doll, but he had to, like, give a good reason as to why he should be allowed.
And episode 3 is the episode that gives us a formal introduction to Nobara Kugasaki. Do you think I got that name close to right? I'm getting better. And the title of this episode refers to her as the Girl of Steel. And there's a couple things I think are cool about her. What do you think about Nobara when you first see her?
She isn't the best person in the world.
She does have an attitude issue of some sort.
She seems kind of self-absorbed, but it's fine.
Yuji gets a uniform. And it's kind of cool because his uniform is custom made with a red hood.
Yeah.
And I think that gives it a nice little flair, but also Gojo is the one who decided he needed a red hood. Do you think can you have any speculation on why Gojo would think he needed a red hood?
Maybe just for the flair.
I was thinking like it's because he's marked for execution, like that red hood means he's going to get his head chopped off when it's all done or something. Just to remind him of what's going on here.
I don't know. Honestly, I mean, seeing as he has a blindfold on his face, I think it's all just for looks.
But it definitely makes Yuji stand out. It has some pop there. And they go to Tokyo to fight a curse. And Yuji gets a big knife that I talked about before called the Slaughter Demon. I think I said Demon Slaughter, but it's Slaughter Demon. And they have this flashback with Nobara that I don't quite have a good handle on. She's a little girl, and she's in a village. And then there's this like older lady that I think is her friend or something. But everybody hates this lady because she's from Tokyo. I don't quite understand why they hate her so bad because she's from Tokyo or something.
That might just be a Japanese like culture thing in a way. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe some folks can explain that to us because I didn't quite get it.
Maybe there's a stereotype. I don't know.
Like, in America, the stereotype is more like the people in the big city making fun of the country bumpkin instead of the other way around.
I think what it said, because she moved to the country, I think people thought that she thought that they were dumb. Like, people thought that she had these prejudices against them, and that's why they hated her, even though I don't think she ever directly said anything. But it was just, like, the stereotypes or whatever that drove them to be like, ew, we hate you, you know?
Yeah, so I understood that it was traumatic, and that for some reason this made Nobara want to live in a big city. But I didn't quite understand it, I guess, on that deeper level. So maybe I'll understand it more as I watch more. But we find out that this curse in Tokyo is all just a test to see if Nobara is crazy enough to be a Jujutsu sorcerer. And I like the idea that they just lay it out there that the number one criteria is you got to be crazy. Because I think that makes it fun. And that's setting us up for a whole lot of fun.
Well, the main character, Itadori, he is definitely not right in the head.
And I really like this weapon that Nobara has. Like when they first showed it, I saw the hammer with a little heart on it, and I thought, okay, cool, she's going to hit people with the hammer. But what she does is she like throws a nail in the air, and then she hits the nail with the hammer, and then the nail flies like a projectile. And I don't think I've ever seen a weapon quite like that. I mean, there's plenty of stuff I haven't seen, so maybe there's something like that out there, but I thought it was really cool because it seemed like kind of new to me, that whole concept.
Yeah, it is really interesting. And you just gotta think about how good her aim has to be able to hit that nail.
And to drive the nail in the proper direction. And, and you know, she can do different stuff. Like, not every time she hits it is the same way either. It's like she can put a certain spin on it and cause it to do different things when it hits, which we'll find out as she battles. And at the end of episode 3, we get an ominous cliffhanger that in the next battle, one of the 3 first years is going to die. So that's pretty ominous because we just got to meet them. So, you know, they can't die in episode 4, which is continued in 5, which I haven't seen yet. There's a part of me wondering if that's going to be some kind of like fake out. And I'll talk about that a little bit more when we talk about episode 4. But I wonder if they're going to say like, well, technically he did die, but he didn't really die because he's still in the show. And this is when they introduced the Juju Stroll. Did you watch the Juju Stroll at the end?
Yeah.
So it's their little interstitial that just shows us like the everyday life of the Jujutsu Sorcerer students. Just like a nice little fun thing in between episodes. I think in this first one, they're mostly arguing about where to eat sushi.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any preferences over carousel sushi versus like made to order?
Well, I don't think I've really had either. I just normally get...
You don't eat sushi, do you?
No, I normally get the sashimi, just the rice and the fish, and that's it.
Now, in episode 4, the 3 Jujutsu first years are sent to rescue inmates of a detention center. And they say it's a juvenile detention center, but the one guy that's in there that's dead looks pretty old, like a grown-up.
Yeah, they said juvenile detention center, but like looking at all the guys, they all look to be in their like 30s.
And this place, the reason they've got to go there is because it's haunted by a cursed womb. And a cursed womb is like an embryo, basically, that could turn into a special grade curse, which is the most powerful. And it's also kind of cool because here they give us a nice little shorthand to know what we're in for this season as they battle curses, because they explain the 4 grades plus the special grade. So I think they say like grade 4 you can beat with a baseball bat. Grade 3 is a handgun. Grade 2 is a shotgun. Grade 1 is like a tank, maybe. And then special grade is you could carpet bomb the whole city and might still not kill it.
Yeah.
And as soon as they show that, I say, okay, I know right away they're going to be battling a special grade if they're showing us exactly what that is. And that, of course, is what they get into. And it's only supposed to be a rescue mission because they know that these first years can't actually handle a battle with the curse. They're just supposed to go in and rescue whoever they can. But I also know, you know, I've seen enough movies and shows to know if you're sent in on a rescue mission, you're going to be battling a bad guy. And one of the divine dogs gets killed.
Yeah.
Always kind of sad when the dog gets killed.
I know. I don't know if he's like dead though, because it's like...
Yeah, I don't even know if he's actually alive. I guess we'll find out as we keep watching what the deal is. One of the 2 survive though.
Yes.
And Yuji gets his hand cut off. That big knife he has, I think that gets broken. This episode 4 is just everybody basically
getting beat up
badly. Like not just a little bit. Because, you know, when Yuji's battling that special grade demon and it shoots the power at him and like the skin is dissolving off of his fingers, and I mean his goose is cooked. He's got his hand cut off. He's over there crying in the corner. But he does kind of like have this breakthrough moment or this aha moment because he remembers the principal saying that no Jujutsu sorcerer dies without regrets. So he, I guess, realizes he has no regrets, so that helps him survive?
Well, no, he does have regrets. And he remembered that curses are, like, channeled through, like, negative emotions. So he figured that if he thought about like all the negative emotions that he had. If he channeled it all, he was able to actually control the cursed energy.
Yeah.
Which is how he ended up getting that like cool little punch thingy in.
He got a heck of a punch in, but it didn't do much.
It didn't do much, but he did make a breakthrough on how to channel his cursed energy, which is a good thing.
And, you know, before I forget, I just want to say that I love the sound effect of how these curses sound. It's kind of like a... Can you make a sound like a curse?
Probably not, no.
It's great. I love the sound effect on those curses. That's another cool thing that had me going. But when Sukuna takes control of Yuji's body, we get to see just how powerful Sukuna is. And this is just 2 of his fingers now, right? Mm-hmm. So this is just 10... What's 2 out of 20? That's not 10%. Yeah, it is. It's only 10% power, and Sukuna just shuts this curse down. And he says something like, I'm going to show you what real Jujutsu is, and he activates something called Domain Expansion Malevolent Shrine. And it slices that curse, I almost called him a demon, slices that curse into 4 parts and really shows who's boss here.
Yeah.
But then he also regrows Yuji's hand and regrows his fingertips and stuff, so it gives him some regeneration. But I think when the episode ends, Sukuna still has control, though. I don't think Yuji's been able to take control back.
Yuji's just kind of gone away for a second. It's like, nope.
So 4 episodes in, do you like it?
Oh, yeah, I love it. It's so cool.
I'm so happy we picked this one up. I'm so happy people recommended it. I think it's great. So I think it's a no-brainer. We're going to do the whole season. Probably break it down in 4-episode chunks. Those 6-episode reviews went a little long when we were talking about Demon Slayer. Plus, we'll get more episodes out of it this way. Mm-hmm. And hopefully get 1, maybe 2 up a week, and then we'll find something else to do. I want to give some variety out there, so if people don't like this, then we can maybe counter-program it with something else, though I haven't figured out what the something else would be. We got great recommendations. So, One Piece has a whole lot of episodes.
Oh, I love One Piece. I've made it about like halfway through, not halfway through.
Yeah.
Looking at it in the long run, I've only just started, but I love it so much. It's so good.
Well, stay tuned to the channel. Please subscribe if you haven't so that you'll know whenever we come out with part 2 covering episodes 5 through 8. And it'll have part 2 of this big cliffhanger here that we left on where it looks like things aren't going well in Tokyo. See you next time.
Bye.